Shri Shri Siksastakam of Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, with Sanmodana Bhashyam by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and commentary by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Sloka 5. Ainandatanuja kinkaram patitamam vishame bhavam buddho kripayatava pada pankaja stita druli sadrisham vichantaya. O my Lord, O Krishna, son of Maharaj Nanda, I am your eternal servant, but because of my own fruit of acts, I have fallen in this horrible ocean of nescience. Now please be causelessly merciful to me. Consider me a particle of dust at your lotus feet. Sri Sanmodana Bhashyam by His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur Prabhupada. Is it proper for a sadhaka who has taken shelter of the holy name to be excessively concerned about the material miseries afflicting him? To answer this question, Lord Chaitanya composed this shloka in which he illuminates the correct attitude of a devotee thusly. O Lord Krishna, son of Maharaj Nanda, I am your eternal servant, but now as a result of my previous activities, I have fallen into this terrible ocean of material existence. Lust, greed, anger, and envy are my adversaries. They lurk in the waters like big fish to swallow me up. The rough waves of wasted hopes and anxiety are tossing me here and there, making my life miserable. Lashing gales of bad association add further suffering. In this condition, I see you as my only shelter. Karma, Jnana, and Yoga are like seaweed. Occasionally, a small bunch of seaweed can be seen floating by. These are the weeds of karma, Jnana, Yoga, Tapasya, and so on. Has anyone ever crossed this ocean of nescience by grasping these paltry weeds? All I have ever seen is that some persons, while trying to swim across this ocean, have reached out to hold these weeds for support, only to sink, seaweed and all, like dead weights. There is no other hope for safety other than your unlimited mercy. The sturdy vessel of your holy name is the only means to cross over this dangerous ocean of material existence. Knowing this too well, I have acted. I begged passage aboard the ship of the Lord's holy name from my spiritual master. By his causeless mercy it was awarded, O Lord. You are known as the protector of your devotees who are souls surrendered to your lotus feet. Please accept this homeless destitute, cleanse me of all my faults, and consider me a dust particle at your lotus feet. The message of this sloka is that those who have been accepted by the Lord on the path of bhakti should never return to the ways of sense enjoyment and liberation, despite material difficulties. From the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Anchalila. In great humility, considering himself a conditioned soul of the material world, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again expressed his desire to be endowed with service to the Lord. I am your eternal servant, but I forgot your lordship. Now I have fallen in the ocean of nescience and have been conditioned by the external energy. Be causelessly merciful to me by giving me a place with the particles of dust at your lotus feet so that I may engage in the service of your lordship as your eternal servant. Commentary by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. Lord Krishna, the son of Maharaj Nanda, is the object of everyone's devotion. Servitorship to Lord Krishna is inseparable from the identity or swarup of the spirit soul. Now that servant of Krishna has become apathetic to his service and is drowning in the terrible ocean of material existence. His only hope of survival is to get the Lord's mercy. If Lord Krishna, out of his fathomless compassion, accepts the jiva, placing him as a pollen particle at his lotus feet, then his hidden identity and eternal proclivity will be remanifest. The word padaduli, lotus feet dust, used here, further substantiates the jiva's original identity as the infinitesimal part and parcel of Krishna, as stated in the scriptures. The jiva may intensely desire to acquire a place at Krishna's lotus feet, but the fact is that only when he becomes subservient to Krishna's will and cultivates devotional service is he accepted by the Lord. This shloka indicates anartha nivritti. Until he is fully situated in his swarup, a residue of anarthas cling to his heart. Thus, his ultimate perfection and goal remains hidden by these slight impurities. Sambandhagan makes him eligible to chant the holy name purely and render loving devotional service by clearing these anarthas from his heart. This is called anartha nivritti. At this stage of development, the devotee is known as Jatarati, born of rati or love. The difference between an ajarati sadhaka, not born of rati, and a jatarati devotee is all in the quality of chanting. One cannot be accepted as a jatarati devotee on the basis of pretense. After anartha nivritti follows nairantarya, or undeviating steadiness in serving, then svecha purvika, voluntary meditation on Krishna's pastimes, by which one develops spontaneous attraction for them, and then svarasiki, the spontaneous revelation of Krishna's pastimes, even without one's expectation. Only after these three stages comes the final perfection of prema. Scriptural statements relevant to this shloka. From Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6. O my Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, will I again be able to be a servant of your eternal servants who find shelter only at your lotus feet? O Lord of my life, may I again become their servant, so that my mind may always think of your transcendental attributes, my words always glorify those attributes, and my body always engage in the loving service of your Lordship. From Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10. Therefore, O vanquisher of all distress, please show us mercy. To approach your lotus feet, we abandon our families and homes, and we have no desire other than to serve you. Our hearts are burning with intense desires generated by your beautiful smiling glances. O jewel among men, please make us your maidservants. Srila Rupa Goswami writes, if you have not worshipped the dust of the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, or the land of Vraj that is marked with her lotus feet, or did not serve the lotus feet of her devotee who is grave because of meditating on her, then how will you become attracted to that blackish ocean of nectar known as Shama or Krishna? From the Bilap Kushamanjali, Sloka 8. O Radharani, beloved damsel of Braj, I am exhausted from swimming in the tempestuous ocean of misery. I am but a derelict. Kindly pick me up on the infallible boat of your causeless mercy. Guide me to the wonderful sanctuary of your lotus feet. In the Radharasa Sudha Nidhi, Sloka 259, it is written, become totally absorbed in Krishna, whose crown is decorated with a peacock plume, and constantly sing his holy name and glories. Engross yourself in serving his lotus feet and continuously chant the Maha Mantra to invoke his pleasure. My only and intimate heartfelt desire is to become a slave to Srimati Radharani's lotus feet. By her causeless mercy, I may attain spontaneous love for her service.